So let's take a look at our USA Humidity Webquest that we performed in class yesterday. If you're an online student, you will need to go in and open up your document, and you will need to edit your answers as I go over this. If you're an in-person student, you need to have your copy of this worksheet out on your desk and change these answers as we go through the presentation together. This is what you will be assessed on. This will be on the test for this unit. You get to use this as a resource for the test. So if you have these answers on your paper, you will get those questions correct on the test and improve your score. First of all, here's what it looks like. Here's the list of the cities and their average humidity values, and you see where they rank. So we're going to look at the top 3 cities on the map. And what do they have in common? Well, top 3 cities. Number 1 over here was New Orleans, which is, what's circled on the map is right down here. Number 2 was Houston. And Houston is right there. And the number 3 city right here was Miami, which is right here. So what do these 3 cities all have in common? Okay, a couple things here. 1, they're very far south, and 2, they're on the water. Those are the 2 things that they have in common. They're very far south and they're on the water. And we can really get a little bit more specific than that. Not only are they on the water, they're not just on any water, they're on this very important body of water called the Gulf of Mexico. So the top 3 cities, they're far south and they're close to the Gulf of Mexico, which is a nice big warm bucket of water. Look at the bottom 3 cities. So we had a couple cities that were tied, Dallas and Oklahoma. So we have city number 9, city number 8, and city number 7. City number 9, Las Vegas. Las Vegas is right here. City number 8 is Phoenix, which is right here. And city number 7, Denver, is right here. Now, what do these cities have in common? Well, what they have in common is that they are far away from the water. Remember that humidity is the amount of moisture in the air, amount of water in the air. Well, the further away you get from the water, the less likely you are to have water in the air. And that's why these cities were at the bottom. Salt Lake City would have been our next city on the list. You can see number 6. So cities 6, 7, 8, and 9, they're all have the lowest humidities, and they are all very far away from the water. Whereas Houston, New Orleans, and Miami all have high humidities because they're near the water, and they're near the warm southern waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, how does Atlanta compare to these rankings? Well, if we look here, Atlanta was number 4, average humidity of 68. So Atlanta kind of falls in the middle because Atlanta's not right on the water, but we're still pretty close to this Gulf of Mexico. And remember, this air mass is the one that tends to come to us here in Atlanta. So this air down here is hot and full of water. It has high humidity. So it comes to Atlanta, and we tend to have pretty high humidity. So on this list, we're number 4. Now, we're not going to be as humid as Tampa, Miami, Houston, New Orleans, cities like that that are right on the water, but we're still pretty humid. Now, what did you notice about the morning versus the afternoon values? You notice that all the morning values tend to be higher than the afternoon. It didn't matter which city it was, they were all higher humidity in the morning than in the afternoon. And that is true. It is always a lot more humid in the morning than it is in the afternoon because remember, the amount of water that can be in the air is directly related to temperature. So in the morning when the air is kind of cool, it's pretty full of water. It's really humid. But in the afternoon, when the air is a lot warmer and it can hold more water, it doesn't tend to be as full. So the relative humidity tends to be lower in the afternoon, higher in the morning. This is why you have dew on the grass in the morning and we don't get dew on the grass in the afternoon. Because in the afternoon, the air can hold all of that water. Because it's hotter, and hotter air can hold more water. But that means it's not as full of water. So the relative humidity is actually lower in the afternoon, even though it's physically holding more water. So if you did not get this returned to you on Teams, that means you did not have these answers either correct or filled out in the first place. And you must type in what was just expressed to you in order to get credit for the assignment.